Roon, the only thing we had is kind of what I'm showing you here. It was an app that ran on a Mac or a Windows PC, and that's all we had at the time. Now we've been adding to that over time, so that we added iOS and Android support, so that you can, on your phone or your tablet, you have this exact same experience, but it's acting as a remote for your PC, which is fine if you're a PC-based music person. That was kind of the only audience we had in the beginning, was the real kind of computer audio file that had a USB DAC off a laptop or something like that. But really, our goal was to branch out from there and to become less PC-centric and to get away from that. So what we've done is we actually did, in partnership with Intel, we developed this contraption, which is, it's just an Intel platform, their NUC platform, which is sort of a workstation class CPU in a tiny little embedded board. And we've put that in this cast enclosure that's fanless, so there's no moving parts whatsoever. But the hardware, there's no magic from us, it's all Intel, right? We decided, having been down the embedded hardware path in the past, we said, that's not us. What we will do, though, is create a bespoke operating system for that Intel board. So we figured, let's get the best-in-class hardware, and we'll make the operating system for it. And so it's a purpose-built device for running Roon. That's all it does. And the operating system is stripped down to the point where that's all it can, frankly, do, is network I/O, USB I/O, and run Roon. And that's what it's optimized for. So the idea here is, Roon with a PC works, but if I close that laptop and walk out the room, no one's going to hear any more music, right? So it's a little bit, it's bound by the constraints of running something on a PC. That's the thing that we wanted to get away from. Hence, Nucleus and its big brother, big twin actually, Nucleus Plus. So they're two different, they're cosmetically identical. The only difference between them is the amount of computing horsepower. So the Nucleus would be for people with music collections up to about 12,000 albums, is what we say. So it has, library size is one constraint, so that's 120,000 tracks. Beyond that, you want to do Nucleus Plus. And the other real constraint is DSP. If you plan to do, for example, lots of DSD upsampling and then adding room correction on top of that, you'll want a Nucleus Plus because it's an extremely taxing operation. So we decided on these two different models. So this is exciting for us because it gets Roon out of the world of the very technical DIY kind of product and more into something that you can just buy and take home and plug in and it just works. That's where we've been trying to go. So here you connect power, Ethernet. There are two USB ports on it. The USB ports can be used for hard drives and or DACs. So you can connect a USB DAC directly to it. What I have in mind is a little 5 terabyte, 2.5 inch USB hard drive that's plugged into one. And I'm not using a USB DAC at the moment because all my audio devices are networked. But you could do that, or you could have 2 hard drives or 2 DACs. So it has, Nucleus has an internal drive bay if you want to install an SSD or a 2.5 inch hard drive. You can use USB storage, as I mentioned, or it can also find your files on your NAS. We haven't even dreamt up a feature that could possibly put it in danger, but one of the reasons that we did this with Intel, not with an embedded supplier, is that, so this uses the NUC platform, as I mentioned. We did all the R&D work on the operating system using their 4th generation. The product that ended up shipping, whatever it is, 6 months ago, was based on their 7th generation. Because everything stays the same. I mean, it's Intel, right? They do it right. They don't mess around from generation to generation. Yeah. So it was pin compatible, everything else worked perfectly, and we were able to ship, if we'd done it with this embedded part, it would have been 2 years obsolete the day we shipped it. But by doing it with Intel, we actually got their absolute latest board, which had only hit the retail market a month prior. So it's very up to date in terms of its computing horsepower. Yeah. One of the reasons we chose to do it this way. If we had to do it the embedded way, I don't know that we would have done this product, to be honest. And the other thing is that as Intel releases new generations, we'll be able to stay in lockstep with them, which is exciting. So we're on the Nucleus, this is a bit of a fuzzy area, the number of zones that you can support. Now, a Nucleus could, in theory, support 30 different audio devices streaming at the same time. However, if you have all AirPlay zones, for example, and all your content is DSD, Roon's got to transcode all those streams in real time. a Nucleus isn't going to do that for 30 zones. So up to 5 is the recommended number of zones that you could stream to with the Nucleus simultaneously. On the Nucleus Plus, it's sort of somewhere out there, more rooms than any of us has. Actually, internally, we joke about the fact that the best feature of Nucleus is that once you've installed it, you forget it exists, because it's just always on, and it always works, and your music's always available, and no matter what you're doing, you just pull your phone out of your pocket and say, play this there, and it always works. So the fact that you don't notice it as a product is to me, in use, is the best feature. Practically, in terms of sound quality and efficiency, it's an Intel part that's extremely powerful. That's great. The operating system that we did, we took out everything spurious. So where that's, could be playing Minecraft sometimes if the kids have their hands on it. Who knows what else that laptop is doing? That is only ever running Roon. And so it's tuned just for that application, which theoretically has sound quality benefits, whatever, depending on how you have it connected. It certainly performs a lot better with very, very low power consumption.